Good morning. It's 7:04 on this Wednesday, February 1st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody. We are glad to have you with us this morning, and as always, glad to be on the air for Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson. Simple banking, simply better. And this morning, believe it or not, right here live in studio, we've got the one and only Bob McDonald. Bob, good morning.
Good morning. The morning has started a bit complicated, but you and Billy and MJ, I think, have it figured out.
Well, we are going to be entertaining two people on the telephone for our guests this morning from the UT Extension office, but that's really got nothing to do with you other than you happen to be here live in studio, and I saw you yesterday, and you told me you were going to be here. And
yes.
After I saw the sleet and all this morning, I thought, well, he'll probably just call in. You're here.
I'm here, and it's great to be with you, and good to see you yesterday, and I think you were doing an inventory check of your pecans, if I had to guess.
Picked up. I picked up where you had sold them all, and that was great. And to get the late start that we got, it's been very successful.
Yeah, good.
And we appreciate all you've done for us at Cedarstone Bank. And I wanted to remember the lady who helps me the most there this morning. And every time I try to think of somebody's name, I forget it.
You're probably thinking about Brenda, if I had to guess.
Brenda McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And she's great.
She's terrific, and
been with you a long time.
Been with us a long time, and she's we call her Aunt B, and she's from Watertown. She's probably listening right now, and she's just got this beautiful smile and this great laugh, and she just takes care of everybody, and been in banking a long time, and we're blessed that she's part of the Cedarstone family.
Well, I certainly think she knows her way around and does a great job in what she does there.
It gives me a lot of comfort because where I sit, she sits on the opposite side of the lobby from me, so I get to watch her all day long serve, whether it's serving her colleagues or serving her customers. She's all about service, and so I enjoy watching her do her thing. Comes natural to her.
Well, you have a nice, friendly office, and I know more about it. Lebanon, of course. I rarely go to the Mount Juliet or Donaldson office. Get to see Robert here from time to time, but if his office is anything like him, it's a great one too.
Well, it is, Coleman. We're real happy with where we are right now in terms of all of our folks and all of our locations and departments. And I just completed my quarterly shareholder newsletter, which will be going out in about a week, but I talk about that in the newsletter about how we've got just a terrific group of Cedarstone professionals who are very skilled at what they do, and they genuinely want to serve the customers in our communities, and that's important to us, and we've just got a really great team put together right now.
Well, you're still lending money. That's one of the main way. Actually, most banks make money is by lending money.
Well, it is, and we're very busy, and I talk about that in our shareholder newsletter also. I talk about how good loan growth was in 2022, and I talk about how we're off to a good start for 2023. We saw all those rate increases for 2022, and we expect to have more this year. As a matter of fact, the Federal Reserve started their first meeting of the year yesterday. They meet again today, and at 1 o'clock our time, they'll be making their announcement about their decision on rates. The most expectations are that they're going to raise rates a quarter of a point or 25 basis points, which I think up until now, folks were expecting about 50 basis points or half a point. I think we need to be careful does that mean that the Fed's going to take the foot off the throttle, so to speak, about increasing rates? But I think they will continue to do that until they're confident that they've gotten inflation to a point where they want it. You and I talk most Wednesdays about how they were a bit behind the curve on that. And so they want to make sure that they have inflation where they want it before they stop raising rates.
But if it is just 25 basic points, quarter of a percent. Is that an encouraging thing to you?
Well, it certainly indicates their view of the economy, their view of inflation in terms of how it will impact the bank or our customers. Very little. I mean, that's not much of a bump. We've already seen all those increases from last year. Those have pretty much been absorbed into our operations and into our customers. And so I doubt that the 25 basis point bump that is expected today will have much impact on us. But, you know, as I mentioned earlier, and as I talk about in my letter going out next week, I mean, it's not stopped people from borrowing money who need to borrow money, you know, for the right reasons. I mean, if someone needs a new car, they're buying a new car. If they need to buy a new house, they're buying a new house. If they want to refinance, renovate their home, they're doing that. If it's a business who needs to purchase more equipment, they're doing that. So we're very busy this first month.
That's good to hear. And we've got just time here to talk about the free checking that you've offered from the beginning.
From the very beginning.
And it is not just free checking. That's the good thing.
Well, it is the good thing. It remains free as checking accounts evolve. Okay? I mean, you know, when we started the bank, writing a check or coming into the bank and cashing a check or making a deposit was the primary way of doing your business. And now, since that time, Coleman will be 19 years old this April. Online banking, electronic banking, the technology and its impact on banking has become more of a presence in our lives. And so we're seeing that, but all of those features are free as well, Coleman. So we continue to make it free in every way that we deliver our checking account.
Well, it's a great account, and it's a good way to start that relationship.
It is indeed, and we invite your listeners who don't already bank with us to come in and let us talk about it.
Well, Bob, I started to say you brave the elements. It's really not that bad.
It's not that bad.
You need to be careful.
Glad to be here.
Be careful going back to the bank this morning.
Thank you. I will, and good luck to you and Billy and MJ as you pull off this remarkable electronic feature coming up. Take care, my friend.
Thank you. Bob McDonald, President, CEO, Cedarstone Bank, Lebanon, Mount Juliet, Donaldson, Simple Banking, simply better. Well, we're 11 after the hour, and this is the first day of February, by the way. It's also a Wednesday, so on the first Wednesday of each month, we like to feature and do have the UT Extension office. Somebody from there is here every first Wednesday. And this morning, I'm going to go to the phone. I think we have two ladies on the phone. We're going to do sort of a conference call here this morning with Morgan Beatty and Grace Harville. Are both of you there?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, it's we've got both of you and coming in on one line here. And my thanks to Billy Goodman for getting this done while I was doing the commercial with Bob McDonald. And I'll be honest, we had a little trouble in the beginning here, but it's good to hear the voice of each one of you. And Morgan, I know you quite well. You're here a lot. And Grace, I don't think you may have been here once. I can't remember. Refresh my memory.
I am one of the new 4-H agents here in Wilson County. I've been here for exactly a month, and it's been great so far. I'm originally from Smith County, where I was very involved in 4-H, and I went to school at the University of Tennessee at Knoxville, where I majored in agricultural leadership, and I was very active in UT's Collegiate 4-H and FFA chapter. So I just have a pretty good involvement all around with 4-H.
Okay, and this is your first time to be on Coleman and Company, right?
Yes.
Okay. Morgan, how are you this morning?
I'm good.
All right. Well, now, between the two of you, we're going to talk till 7:30 with a break here coming up in a couple of minutes. But anything in particular we want to address this morning? Morgan?
I think, well, the big thing is we wanted to introduce Grace.
Yeah.
Good job, I think, introducing herself and talking about her 4-H involvement. So that was the first thing. So I don't know. Hey, Grace, do you want to tell them some of the projects and stuff that you'll be working with? Yes. So as of right now, the things that I've been involved with mainly are our sewing club, which is up and running. We've started having meetings for that. And then this upcoming month in February, we're going to be starting some of our livestock judging teams, like meats judging, livestock judging, and then we also have our 4-H livestock project group for anybody that's interested in learning more about beef, sheep, goats, swine, dairy cattle, and how to care for, select, and exhibit those livestock for various shows throughout the year. So we have a lot of things going on in the livestock realm of 4-H.
Grace, let me ask you this, and we'll go to a break. When you were growing up, you were in school. Did you do a lot of 4-H, and is that maybe why you're doing what you're doing now?
Yes, definitely. Whenever I was in high school age 4-H, I had a passion for it, and whenever I was thinking about a lifelong career, there wasn't anything specific that I really wanted to do, but whenever I thought about it at our state 4-H roundup my freshman year of high school, I was just like, 4-H is something that I know I never want to leave, and so I thought being an agent would be a great career for that.
Okay, well that's good, and then of course, Morgan, we know that you kind of grew up in the 4-H was probably talked about when you were a very small young girl, so it's been part of your life all that time too, right?
Yes, yeah. I fortunately grew up with a dad who worked in 4-H, and so it's just kind of been a family thing, natural progression to kind of step into being a 4-H agent for me as well.
Okay, now you two hold on, and we're going to take a break right here, and more coming up on Coleman and Company FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:16. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Ride it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, hard TVs, hay tools, or turf products. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. I'm looking at a crash on 65 northbound. It's at OHB, Old Hickory Boulevard, in the Brentwood area. This section of Williamson County's got traffic slow. They're trying to move the vehicles, but it was there long enough to slow down that traffic flow. Again, on 65 northbound over here at Old Hickory Boulevard, trying to wrap up a crash 24 eastbound in Pleasant View there through that section of Robertson County's had traffic slow. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. They're online, nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck. You're on time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is a family dental practice located across from Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. They offer cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and now featuring new digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments. No insurance, no problem. Call about our discount plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs. I look forward to meeting you.
Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322, West Medora Parkway across from Gibbs Pharmacy.
Coleman and Company, welcome to part one here on a Wednesday morning. I have on the phone with me, just joining us, we have Grace Harville, who is fairly new at the UT Extension Office. We have Morgan Beatty, who you've heard many times, and together they're doing our program this morning. Okay, Morgan, you had mentioned a number of things that you need to talk about, but one was to introduce Grace. And Grace, before we get to something else, anything else you want to tell us about you? You talked about how, especially in high school, you really came to love 4-H, and then you have enjoyed it so much that's what you're doing now. What else do you have to tell us, or is there anything?
Well, like I said, I grew up on my grandparents' farm in Smith County, so I also have a background in agriculture within that aspect. But in 4-H, I was also active in our food science project. I love to cook, bake, anything that has to do with stuff like that. And then I also gave lots of speeches and was active in our communications and public speaking project. So those were just some of the things that I enjoyed doing during my time in 4-H.
Well, doing some of that did help prepare you for what you're doing now, didn't it?
Absolutely, especially within the communications realm of everything. I mean, you're going to need to communicate with people on a daily basis, regardless of what your career is. So that definitely helped me in my career and otherwise.
Okay, Morgan, what else do we want to talk about? Change the subject a little bit here for us, if you will.
Well, let me tell you, January's kind of been a busy month. We started out the month with our county public speaking contest. So throughout the November, December, January, I was going around to all the school clubs in the county. We are in about 10 or 11 different schools. I was going around to all the schools and listening to a bunch of speeches. It's about 20 speeches per classroom. And then all of the kids who got their blue ribbon, their first place winning speech from each class, were invited to our county contest in January. So that's kind of how we started off January. We had, 35, 40 kids, I think, that attended the county contest. We sent 7 of them to the area contest, had some placings. I think there was like a 3rd place and a 6th place or something like that. And then our high school student that went to the next level, he actually gets to go to the regional contest this Saturday. So we've been working with him to help him prepare for regionals. So we're really excited about that. And that's kind of a big deal. So for us, it's really exciting to have 4-H members keep advancing through all of the different levels of speech.
Well, both of you, no doubt, have done a lot of the things that you're helping others do now, and your experience there is invaluable, of course. But you are like a coach. But when you have a big, maybe county-wide contest and a lot of people participating, you probably don't work as closely. And I'm guessing here, maybe with them as you do with the winners who are going on, who need a little bit coaching and touching up and encouragement and that sort of thing. Am I right?
Yeah, we're a little competitive, so we're like, come to the office and we'll say your speech 100 times and give them some tips on eye contact and moving around and stuff like that. So. And the senior high kids have to give an extemporaneous speech. So that's what we've really been focusing on, is helping him with that extemporaneous speech that he'll have to give.
All right, explain that a little bit. You have a subject, but do you have time any time to prepare for that, or is it just something you talk about this and that's it? Tell us how that works.
It's 1 minute. They give you the topic, and you have 1 minute to prepare for a 2-minute speech.
That's tough, isn't it? You've done it, haven't you?
Very tough, yeah.
Have you done that, Grace?
Yes, I actually got to go to the regional contest all 4 years of high school, and extemporaneous speaking it's very hard to prepare for, but whenever you have good help, good volunteers in 4-H, good extension agents that are willing to help you with it, it makes it a whole lot easier. My 4-H agent in Smith County, Katie Martin and Mr. Trent Jones, they all helped me whenever I needed help with extemp, and so I feel like Morgan and I do a really good job working together and making sure that our kids can succeed.
Well, that's sort of like somebody sticking a mic in your face and saying, "Say something," and you have to be prepared for all situations as best you can. But it really does put you on the spot, doesn't it? You've been there and you've experienced. Yeah. Okay, what else is going on?
Well, our hippology and horse bowl team competed this week or this month. And hippology, if you don't know, is the study of horses. So, and it's exactly what it might sound like. They started practicing in November, and they studied horses for several months. And everything that you could think of related to horses. Learning to identify the different breeds of horses, the different colors, patterns, bone structure, anatomy, diseases, nutrition, like all the things, anything related to horses. They had to study and memorize. They went to the contest. It was at Cumberland here in Lebanon, and they take a test, a really extensive, very long test where they identify different things and answer questions. They judge a class of horses on video. And anyway, all that to say, they did really well. We had a fifth place team in the junior high division and a fourth place team in the junior division. And that was out of like 20 or so teams in each of those grade levels. So that's pretty good it was pretty good, I think, for fourth through like maybe seventh grade, I think we had on our teams. And they took the best part about it, in my opinion, is they took one week off last week to rest, and they were back at it again last night, getting ready for horse judging. The horse judging contest is in March, so they have been just dedicated for the last several months, and they're pushing on. So I'm really proud of them.
Well, I'm wondering, are these people who have been around horses considerably, or are they some who knew almost nothing about it when they started?
Some of them are. Some of them have participated for several years. And then, some of them are new. Some of them have never done it before. So it really just, I think we had several volunteers that work with our horse group. But we had a volunteer who coached that team. And I think what makes the Horse Bowl and hippology and horse judging and all those horse contests so fun is just like the reason they want to keep doing it, because it doesn't really sound that fun, honestly, just like kind of studying all this material and taking a test. But it's just that, they get together and they kind of have fun. They're using different like quiz apps and different things like that. They're playing games and kind of building friendships. So they're having fun during their practices and kind of building a team and a community, and then they go to the contest. So
Well,
I think that's what kind of keeps them coming, is that they're really just enjoying practices. But I'm proud of them because they've stuck with it and they're doing a really good job.
well, that is good to hear. But there's an awful lot to know about horses, and I've never done any study of it. But I mean, you primarily stick with horses. I take you don't go with mules or donkeys or other creatures similar to the horses.
It's mostly horses. I think there's some questions about crossbreeding and different things and how you arrive at mules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's horses. Like everything you could possibly think of about a horse, they could possibly ask you.
We got about two and a half minutes. What else do we need to do as we wrap up this morning? Grace, you got anything else you want to say?
I don't think so. I'm very honored and blessed to be here in Wilson County, and I can't wait to grow with our 4-H youth.
Well, I'm looking forward to having you live in studio, and hopefully next time that we do this, you'll be able to do that. I'll have an opportunity to see you. It's a little bit easier, and Morgan can testify to that. A little bit easier to sit here around the table and look at each other as we talk and know sort of when the other one is finished and that sort of thing. A telephone interview is a little bit harder, but you've done a great job this morning, and appreciate having you. And Morgan, you can think of something here to wrap it up with, if you will.
Okay. Well, we're just excited. I will say, I know what a good plug is to end would be. We are getting ready here within the next couple weeks to start putting our camp information out there. I know it's just February 1st, and it's kind of early to be talking about camp in June, but if anybody has a 4th through 8th grader, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th and 8th, that might be interested in going to overnight camp with us in the middle of June, or coming to our 3-day day camp, or even junior high camp, we've got 3 different options there. So we will be posting. We've already posted the dates. They're all in June, but all the information as far as pricing and how to pay and how to sign up and all those things are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. So we're really excited about that. So keep your eyes on our Facebook and our website. It's just Wilson, Tennessee 4-H is the Facebook, and then our website. You have to go to wilson.tennessee.edu.
Okay.
Or come by the office, and we'll tell you all about it.
All right. That sounds great.
Extension office.
Thank you all for being with us this morning. We appreciate this report, and it sounds like 4-H is alive and well here in Wilson County. Morgan Beatty, Grace Harville,
sure is.
with the UT Extension Office. Thank you so much. That is
Thank you,
part
Coleman.
one of Coleman Company, and we hope you'll keep it here for more. FM 98.9.
And it's now 7:28. Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota. Write it off the lot. Write it off your taxes. Visit Absolute Kubota. Take advantage of the Section 179 tax deduction when you buy new Kubota construction equipment, tractors, RTVs, hay tools, or turf products. 1506 West Main, Absolute Kubota. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Just to play it safe, give yourself extra time, especially if you're leaving Clarksville, headed towards Nashville. Trying to get through that section of Robertson County has been a struggle there and through Pleasant View on 24 East and westbound. Actually, they're still trying to finish up the paperwork on the wreck in Brentwood at 65 North, just past OHB. It still has traffic a little bit slower than normal through that section of Williamson County. Nash Painting is Middle Tennessee's #1 residential and commercial painters. They're online right now, nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
When you needed portable heating, cooling, generators and remediation equipment, contractor tools, or any other equipment or solution to help you get the job done, you trusted Absolute Rental and Supply. Now that same team brings you more equipment and more solutions as Herc Rentals. From construction and industrial to HVAC and homeowner, Herc Rentals has the gear and expertise to get jobs done efficiently, effectively, and safely. Visit us today at 1325 Main Street in Lebanon or online at hercrentals.com. That's HERCrentals.com.
Hello, Phoenix baseball fans. This is senior outfielder Sancho Farmer from Bardstown, Kentucky, inviting you to follow the Phoenix on the air and online this season. You can hear all of our games on either WANT FM 98.9 or WCOR AM 1490 or online at WANTFM.com or GoCumberlandAthletics.com. Our first games are Friday, February 3rd at 2:30 and Saturday, February 4th at 11 a.m. We hope to see you soon. Go Phoenix.
Cloudy skies out there this morning, and we won't be getting much of a warm-up today. Look for a high of just 42 by this afternoon, with more rain chances arriving tonight and into Thursday. The good news is the chances for any winter weather have decreased, so we shouldn't see any more freezing precipitation. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm number one Ned.
And we welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company here on this Wednesday, February the 1st. We're ready to talk about Herc Reynolds this morning. Dave Hurst is with us. Dave, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Good to see your smiling face.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah, Bob McDonald made it out to talk about Cedarstone. You've made it out to talk about Herc Reynolds.
That's correct.
Roads are not, I mean, I didn't find it that bad. I left early and took it easy.
Yeah, I did the same. When I got out this morning, I was expecting it to be a little bit worse than what it was, but there was a fair amount of the roads that were actually dry, which I was surprised. So I guess we got a little lucky, but I heard there's another front moving in tonight, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think this one's called Phase 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about Herc Reynolds, of course, at 1325 West Main in Lebanon, formerly Absolute Rental, but since June the 1st of last year, it's been Herc Reynolds. And Keith Ely, of course, is the area manager, but Dave is the assistant branch manager. And Dave, you've probably been here lately. You've been coming here more than anybody else. You have been here almost every other Wednesday, I guess, for a while.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, and we love to see you because you're right there in the midst of it all. And, of course, it's the place for equipment and tool rental, and some things have changed. You've got bigger inventory. You have access to even more equipment now, maybe than it did before the ownership change.
Oh, that's correct. You know, not only can we pull from our what we call our sister branch there, part of our pool there in Nashville, But, if it's going to be a long-term rental, we also have the ability to reach out into our district, which covers a couple states. And then, if we can make a trade with one of the other branches and pull another piece of equipment in if we need to. So.
Well, I know at one time, I'm just rambling this morning, I guess, but at one time, Keith was looking for some new employees. Are you fairly well staffed, or you needed some more help?
No, we're always looking for good help. Right now the biggest need would probably be a road mechanic, not only at our branch but also at the Nashville branch. And I also know in Nashville they're also looking for yard coordinators as well. At least I think 2 yard coordinators. So guys are gonna be on the yard, helping customers load and unload. Moving equipment around, cleaning it, getting ready for the next rental. So they've got a fair amount of need in Nashville. For us right now, it's a road mechanic, like I said. I would think here probably in the near future we'll also be looking to add another yard coordinator at our location.
Yeah.
So
What you got any really hot items right now?
So, right now, we've been doing a lot of water pumps, with a lot of all the rain and everything. Guys are digging ditches and trenches, and then, it fills up with water. And so, they're coming in and renting that stuff and, getting their trenches cleaned out and ready to roll again. So.
I don't know too that now actually, although we've had some, we've had a little ice here, but the temperature this morning I think is around 30 or something, maybe 28, 29. Not bad really.
Right.
But there are times when you need heat, something to produce heat. You've got that, and also you have the propane that you've been selling. You might want to talk about both of those.
Yeah, so we do stock a fair amount of your what they call torpedo heaters. A lot of your contractors use those, if they're working kind of a big open area, want to warm it up. I've also seen masons use them. They'll put plastic up and then put 2 or 3 at the bottom and just blow it in from the bottom. Heat rises, so that whole face that they're working on is going to be warm. We also have, if you're having an event, we do stock a couple patio heaters. We have rented those out for weddings and things like that, outdoor events. And if you're a commercial company, if you have, let's say, a big warehouse or something that goes down and you need heat, we don't, but we can get you in contact with our Pro Solutions group out of Nashville, and that they deal in the really big heaters and coolers, and they would probably be able to get you hooked up.
Well, you're certainly there to help people, and one of the ways you help people, and this has been true for a long time, that is properly instructing them in how to use the equipment. That's really important on both ends. If you don't know what you're doing with a piece of equipment, you can hurt yourself. You can also tear that piece of equipment up, which you don't want to have.
That's correct.
Well, you don't want anybody to get hurt either.
That's right. So that's a lot of times, when people call in, sometimes they wonder why we ask so many questions. We've probably got 8 to 10 questions we're going to ask you. What are you doing with your equipment? What's the ground condition like? Are you on a hillside? You on a slope? Is it level ground? How far down do you need to go? How high do you need to go? There's a lot of different questions we have to ask, so we want to get you the right piece of equipment.
But that's really important, isn't it? Very important.
It is. Because, sometimes we are dealing with seasoned contractors, and then we are dealing with homeowners, and, in their mind, they're thinking they need this tool. Then based on the questions that they tell us and the responses that we're getting, we might say, it would probably be better if you go with this piece. You're going to get a lot better result. So.
Well, that's you can expect that when you call 615-443-RENT, or when you come by the store and make your make the rental. You can just expect that, but it's for the good of everybody.
Correct.
And don't get upset. I would think most people would understand that, even though they may have done it 100 times.
Right. I know it can be frustrating. Some guys are in a hurry and they want to keep rolling. They're like, why so many questions? But it's basically to make sure that you're going to have a great experience and that you're being serviced properly.
Haven't mentioned your website this morning. We want to do that, hercrentals.com. And you can do an awful lot there. You can actually take care of the rental there.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah, you can make a reservation online. You can see everything we have. You can see the pricing. If you do make a reservation online, it's going to send us an email. We reach out to you to confirm it. Another tool that we've launched for our contractors as well, we can get them signed up for their own, what we call Pro Control, which allows them to go in and see the metrics of their equipment that they're using and also pay all their bills online, get their statements. So a lot of neat features.
Okay, you are open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5?
Yes, Monday through Friday, 7 to 5.
That's it right now?
Right now, yes.
Okay. And again, the phone number is 615-443-RENT, and the website is hercrentals.com. And I guess that's pretty much it for this morning. But Dave Hurst, thanks for coming out. I hope you have a great week, and we'll see you next time.
Sounds great. Thanks,
All
Coleman.
right. Dave Hurst, Assistant Branch Manager for Herc Rentals, 1325 West Main in Lebanon. We're 21 before the hour. And here on this Wednesday, the 1st of February, I have sitting to my right the lady who makes all this possible, Susie James. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. I think you make this possible.
Well, you're the one who started this thing in 1993. August the 1st, right?
October the 1st.
I'm sorry. October. I was thinking October and said, October 1st, 1993.
Yes.
And
yes.
That was on a Saturday, wasn't it?
It was on a Friday.
On a Friday.
Yes.
Well,
You're close. You're close. You weren't
here. But I was here on the second Monday of that October, and that's when this all started.
It did. It started in the fall of 1988, the first discussions. Filed for the license in 89. But we're not here to talk about that this morning. I am substituting for just a few minutes for Patty Watts.
Well,
she, like a lot of people, her car was iced over. She's had a lot of phone calls asking about the center, which is closed today, the Lebanon Senior Center. But they've got a great event coming up. She'll be here in just a few minutes, and she'll do a better job with the details.
Okay. Well, sometimes I'm the last to know, but that's all right, too. Well, but I appreciate you taking over till she gets here.
Yes. Well, one of their largest events for the Lebanon Senior Center is the Valentine's celebration that they have every year, and it's really grown. I know we've been, but this year it will be on Saturday, February the 18th. So it's actually a few days after Valentine's Day, but it's going to be held at the Mill, so there's plenty of room, and they will have a fabulous meal. When I've been there before, I think I had a steak dinner. I mean, it's some good food.
It's very good food.
They have lots of music. Now, typically they've had Tick Bryan. It doesn't actually say Tick Bryan, but you know that's entertaining. Dancing, which you always enjoy. I know you're always the first one on the dance floor. Silent auction items. Lots of door prizes. But this is kind of a cool idea. They've got this vacation giveaway. Have you read about this?
Yes, I've heard Patty talk about it.
Yeah. So there are 3 different tiers of chances that you can purchase for a $5,000 voucher towards a vacation. That's pretty cool. $25.
Somebody's going to win that night.
Somebody's going to win it. $25 for one chance, $50 for 3 chances, and $75 for 5 chances. So you got to purchase those by the 17th, by the day before the event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the tickets for the dinner, I don't say the price for those, but the actual dinner price it's a separate ticket.
Right. Yeah. I don't think you have to do both.
No, you don't have to buy the tickets for the vacation chances.
You can go to the dinner and not participate in
Yes.
that drawing. I think you can participate in the drawing and not go to the dinner.
That's the way
I think
it
that's
appears.
Right,
but
don't think you have to be present to win.
since she's not here, we'll just make it up. Yeah, just go buy some tickets to the drawing. I don't know. She'll straighten us out in a minute. But
Patty has come up with this idea, which is a little bit different.
it is.
But we'll see how it works. But I understand it's going well, and of course, a lot of people want to help the center, and everybody would like a $5,000 voucher for a vacation, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And everybody like a nice dinner and entertainment. Of course, you could bid on some silent auction items while you're there. There's always a wide variety.
Well, one of the things about the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center, I mean, they get some help from some of the governments, local governments, a little bit, and but they have to always be on the lookout for ways to take care of the paying the bills, keeping the lights on, having personnel there to take care of things. And Patty can even talk more about that. But it's her responsibility, really. The bills have got to be paid, and then she's the manager, or whatever her title is. That doesn't sound right, but I can't.
She's the director, I guess. Yes.
Director. Well, the director does a lot of managing.
She does.
A manager does a lot of directing.
The dinner tickets can be purchased at the Lebanon Senior Center. You can go in there and purchase them, but they're also online at Eventbrite. So a lot of people use that platform now, so that's easy to find. And it'll just be a great night. And again, it's on February the 18th, which is Saturday night, and it starts at 6 p.m. at the Mill.
One of the things I have noticed, a lot of people who are in government attend that. Sheriff Bryan is always there. There are a number of the others who will be there. Mayor Hutto is always there.
Yes.
And they support that, have a good time. If it's an election year, just about all the candidates, this is not going to be one. So all you office holders need to come out and help support this. And I know a lot of them will.
Let me throw this in here before we go to break. Cumberland University baseball starts this week. And so we will be carrying the first game Friday. Right now, depending on the weather, they've already changed the time just a little bit, but Friday should be at 2 o'clock. On the daytime weekday games are just on the AM on WCOR and online on WANT FM. We'll be having them on there and also at GoCumberlandAthletics.com. So there should be a single game on Friday and then a doubleheader that starts Saturday morning at, I believe that's at 11 right now.
That's one of the things about Cumberland baseball, that the weather has a lot to do with when you start. And sometimes if it's a tournament time or other things can happen to either delay or postpone a game, but it's a little bit more unsettled than some of the other sports.
That's right.
Just the nature of the beast.
Yep.
Okay, it's time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Bates Ford, that regular oil change $34.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal. 1673 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Morning. The police are wrapping up this wreck in the Brentwood area. People sometimes are still staring at it on 65 North at passing OHB. Also, something slowing down traffic here. Yep, it's a crash on Ellington Parkway. It's southbound. It looks like it's going to be there near Hart Lane. Looks like it just happened also on Ellington Parkway. That could slow you down, especially up there at the top. It's still a bit of a struggle on 24 westbound through Pleasant View, that's out in Robertson County, slowing down that traffic as you head towards Clarksville. Nash Painting services all of Middle Tennessee. They're online right now at nashpainting.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Simple banking, simply better. Since 2004, that's been our motto at Cedarstone Bank. I'm Bob McDonald. We know that financial decisions can sometimes be complicated, but that doesn't mean solutions have to be. Whether you're buying a new home, renovating your existing home, or buying a car, or maybe you're a business that needs to purchase equipment for the building you operate from, we have all the technology that will allow you to do your banking online or on the telephone, or you can come in one of our beautiful branches and see our great people. With locations in Lebanon, Mount Juliet, and Nashville, Cedarstone Bank. Simple banking, simply better.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We continue here on this Wednesday morning, the first day of February. Susie James has been my guest. Now we are joined by Patty Watts, who's the director of the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. Well, I said manager a while ago, but a director does a lot of managing.
We all
She said talk into the mic.
talk
okay.
into the mic. All right, I was too far. I like these new rolling chairs you have and this table and everything. It's fancy like. So thank you, Susie, for woke up this morning and the first thing on my mind was I've got to do the Coleman show, and I was getting ready and my phone rang and this happened, and we get distracted. And the next thing you know, I appreciate you calling and saying, "Are you on your way?" I'm like, "I am on my way. I finally got my car unthawed." I didn't realize it was the doors, everything. I had to go inside and get warm water, and I'm like, "Oh, don't break a windshield."
Well, I went out at 5 o'clock just to make sure. 3 of my doors I couldn't pull open, but the right rear one I did, and then you push all the others out, So when I did that, I knew everything's going to be all right. And then I had to scrape a little ice off about 6:30 to get going, but everything was fine.
Well, you did good.
And we're glad you made it here.
Thank you. Safely.
And I know you want to pick up where
I do.
Susie
And
left
Susie,
off.
thank you. And it's 1,000 eyes on a article and an ad and a piece of paper, and you forget the amount of money for the ticket.
You do so much. That's okay.
And then somebody calls and says, well, how much is it? And you look at it and you're like, didn't put that on there.
Well, how much is it?
It's $50 per person.
Excellent.
And it is. And you said you had a nice steak dinner. It's prime rib. We order our meat from Houston's. So it's a real prime rib, and we bake it, and it's delicious. And then if you don't eat beef, a lot of people don't. Well, not a lot, but a couple. You can have it's a nice roasted chicken breast, and we get those from Houston's as well. So
delicious.
We're going to have beer from Cedar Brewery, and I get them all mixed up, and I'm so sorry. The wine, dancing. Tig Bryan is going to be the DJ, and so you did well with that. But Danny
sing Unchained Melody.
He will, and we'll dance, and our hearts will flutter. It's a wonderful night. We've already sold 160 tickets, so we're going to have a nice evening. But there's still room for more. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, please come out, $50 per person, and everything's included. We'll have a silent auction. We're already gathering some great prizes for the silent auction. Then Danny McCorkle, I wanted to add Danny McCorkle is going to be there too. So both. We're going to have Danny McCorkle singing and Tig Bryan DJing. So.
Well, I was just going to mention your silent auction. You usually have some really nice things
we do
for people to
bid
somebody take home with them.
Yeah, at good prices and good things. So I think Susie's got a real nice cooler. She's gonna.
But this is a happening. We can say, and a lot of people and a lot of office holders have supported. They enjoy coming, have a good time, but I think they feel good about supporting the senior citizens.
They do. It's a good thing to support, and a lot of dignitaries do come out. Sheriff Bryan, you mentioned. Randall Hutto, Rick Bell. Rick Bell has always bought a big table and supported us. We went up a little bit on our tables this year, and Rick, he's been supporting us before he ever ran for council. So, I appreciate that for him.
Yeah, and as I was mentioning, it is incumbent upon you to come up with some funding because you have to come up with some way to keep the doors open.
Coleman, it's not easy. I did a little video. It's on YouTube. I would encourage everybody to go look at it, kind of give some pictures of the senior center, and I kind of tell them a little bit about it. Our fundraising line item is $38,500, and that's not easy to reach, and it's dollar by dollar. We have the 2 yard sales, and we're selling stuff for 50 cents and $1, but we'll make, $3,000 or $4,000 at a yard sale, 50 cents at a time, but the Valentine banquet is all of the money that we make goes back into the senior center. We help so many people. Mid-Cumberland van, the people that come, Mid-Cumberland does have some 3Bs, but they run out of 3Bs, and then we have to pick that up. So they send us a bill that people that come on the van, if they can't afford to pay it, we pick that up as part of our service because we want them there. We don't want them at home. And by the time you pay $4 a day for your lunch and $4 a day to get there, that's unaffordable.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about almost $40,000 that you've got to come up with some way, and
That's right.
primarily by fundraising, and then you do have that unique boutique, which helps a little bit.
Well,
too,
that's a
doesn't
separate line item. So our budget is, right at $500,000. The city's very generous. They give us $125,000. The county, $25,000. Then we have lunch money that we collect. And then memberships that we collect, that's $35 per person. But it's hard to reach that $500,000. And we had our board of directors meeting the other day. Food alone, we used to be able to stay even. If our food, we're like at $89,000 in food cost already. And we used to be like at $89,000 in money collected. So it stayed fairly even. But as these costs have risen dramatically, we're only at like, $65,000 collected for food and $89,000 in expenses. So this fundraiser helps balance that. People say, go up on your lunch. Well, you've heard me say this 1,000 times. Those Social Security checks aren't going up. If you retired, our average age is 77. That's retiring 20 years ago. You're living on, even if you have a pension and Social Security, that's still not near what we're making today and what the cost of today's world is. And a lot of these people, their spouses have passed away, so they're only living on one Social Security, and some of them have lost their pension because they didn't plan properly. So if the spouse that was carrying the pension doesn't plan properly, then, now you're down to your Social Security because you've lost, your spouse's pension and his or her Social Security.
Well, I think just listening to you, it's easy to tell you have a heart for these people and somewhat of the monetary plight they're in.
Well, it's, we don't want anybody staying home. We want them enjoying. We want them there because being at home is lonely and it's isolating and it's depressing. And we saw that with COVID. We saw what it did. We saw how they deteriorated. And just being there and being amongst friends, sitting, putting a piece of puzzle together, sitting across the table, laughing about something, or, it's so important.
Just about anybody, that's reached 55 to whatever. I don't know what the oldest one is anymore, but there's something for anybody at the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center.
There is
There's
100. Miss
people-
Maybelle Carlton just turned 100.
A lot of people love to play cards.
They love to play cards.
A lot of people like to do the puzzles, or several people
Yes.
do. There's you have a lot of activities. Nearly everybody except me likes to play bingo.
And you are open today.
And we are
Correct
open today.
us, please. Yes.
Well, we wanted to follow the Lebanon Special School District. And so the staff all went in yesterday. We cleaned ovens. We really got a lot of stuff done because it's hard when you're, open. And with the impending ice, we didn't want anybody. But then the ice didn't come. And then I found out that the Lebanon Special School District is closed because I think they're short-staffed and the flu and different things like that. So we can't do that. But, I mean, you would love to have a guideline to go by. But we're adults. If you feel safe to get out, come on out. We're going to be open today. And, we've got our first music jam. Everybody's been wanting a jam session. Yeah. So this afternoon, if you've got a guitar or a banjo or a harmonica or mandolin or whatever you want, come on out. Let's get it started. And once everybody starts playing together, it'll be great.
It really will. What instrument do you play?
The radio, WANT.
Oh, she is so smart and beautiful. Yes.
Ask a smart aleck question.
No.
Get a smart aleck.
I've been trying to learn to play the guitar. So I'm not a talented man. I'm a talented woman, but
that was great. We do have a lot of fun here.
We do.
Well, we got about 3.5 minutes left, Patty. You might want to sort of start over here again because
let's
this
start
is
over.
Your biggest fundraiser.
It is. Come out.
It's a very important one.
Right. It's a great time. If you're not going to come out, if you want to make a donation, the need is there. If you want to have a delicious steak dinner prepared, we cook it. It's wonderful. Potatoes, green beans, cheesecake. It's wonderful. Come out, $50 per person. You can't go out. I went and got a chicken sandwich, and I don't want to say the name of the fast food restaurant. I got this chicken sandwich in a small tea. It was $16. But you come out to the banquet, you get prime rib, all the fixings, wonderful night, $50. You're not going to go anywhere for that anymore. You're not going to go anywhere for that.
And a great evening, again, musical entertainment by Danny McCorkle and Tick Bryan. Tick's more your MC, but he does a little singing too.
He does. He's wonderful. He's entertaining. Everybody loves him. We love him. He has supported the Senior Center throughout the year. We've got wonderful people. And I don't want to just say that one person does more than another. Tick's been faithful. Rick's been faithful. You've been faithful. Susie, I can call MJ anytime and just say, hey, can you put this on the radio? And she gets it out there for me. And I appreciate the support that the community gives.
Okay, the other thing that we got time to mention again is this $5,000
$5,000 vacation giveaway. I'm talking fast and over you, and I'm sorry. But anyways, it's $5,000, $25 a chance. And that $5,000, the entire amount goes towards the vacation. We have a fabulous getaway travel agent that's going to donate her time to plan that vacation for you. So we were going to do like a Caribbean vacation or this. Maybe somebody wants to put $5,000 towards going to Italy or on a cruise. We don't know where people want to go. So we just made it an amount. And, if you get the $5,000 vacation getaway and you say, well, I'd rather just get away to Gatlinburg and you don't need a travel agent, you can just take the $5,000 and go to Gatlinburg.
How about that?
Whatever you want to do. Or,
Okay, now you don't have to attend. I think we were right about
No,
that.
you do not have to be present to win. And we will be selling tickets the night of the banquet. You had said, by the 17th. I think the energy is going to be good. The night of the banquet, we're going to have somebody there selling tickets and hopefully sell more, because that money all generates back into the Senior Center for Programs.
Okay, anything you want to say, Susie? We got 1 minute. We got 50 seconds.
Well, we did carry 2 basketball games last week, and they were just fabulous. Cumberland University basketball, we've brought back just a limited amount of those. John Boyce does the play-by-play, and Ron Pavin, athletic director, is the color. We will do that once again on February 18th, and we will have it on the AM while we're having baseball on the FM. So follow us for the Cumberland sports.
How about that?
And baseball means spring is right here.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Well, and you will be open to.
We are open today, yes.
Okay, and lunch is $4.
$4 today.
You know what's on the menu? That's okay.
We're having chicken patties. Pork roast and cabbage was, but there was no way we could cook that, and if we were closed, and that we can't waste that kind of food.
All right.
Chicken patties are frozen. We just put them in the oven.
Well, we hope there'll be a nice turnout today.
Thank you.
And thank you for being with us.
Thank you for being patient and having
Patty
me.
Watts, the director of the Lebanon Senior Citizen Center. That's it for a Wednesday. Join us tomorrow. Till then, I wish you a wonderful day.